Welcome to my cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds of sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, my friends. I am indeed really glad you're here. Welcome to another Monday night. It is live stream number 214 on October 6th, 2025. Here we are. I just had to adjust the bird there. He seems to have frozen it a little bit. I think he's all right now. Anyway, keep an eye on him for me. Make sure he's still drinking. Hey, thanks for being here. It's good to see you all, and I was looking at some of the comments before I hopped on here, just trying to scroll through to see what's going on. I see that our friend Chris is having some homemade barbecue, one of my favorite things. I do love like pulled pork, pulled chicken. I think it's just the barbecue. I think I could have just barbecue on bread, and that's all I would need, if it's good, of course. Anyway, how you doing, Chris and Bob and David, Woodster 300, Ross on the land, and our friend Hunter. Hunter, how you doing, buddy? Thank you. I love your artwork. Keep it up, my friend. You have a very serious talent, and I love to see the work that you do. 86 Fahrenheit up in Canada, where David is. Wow. Oh, back to 50 tomorrow. Thanks for converting that, David. I do appreciate that, because I know that you're up in Canada where you don't use those crazy Fahrenheit numbers. And I think you also speak French a lot. So thanks for bringing it down to my level of English and Fahrenheit. It was pretty warm here today too, but that's all right. It's fall. It's nice. It's beautiful days we've been having. Hello, Ann. Gosh, I drank that. I swallowed that tea just a little too fast. Sometimes that happens. All right, Chris, I'll hold that thought. So what's everybody doing? What is happening? The last video I put out was me cleaning the chimney, and I got some feedback on that. Of course, I did put out a short video asking your input on whether you clean your own chimneys. Hey, look, there's the chimney right there. I was right up there, up on the roof. Do you clean your own chimneys, or do you pay somebody? This is obviously for people who are using wood stoves. Well, I guess anybody who uses a chimney. But I don't know about continuing to do it myself or paying somebody. I did, after I put that video out, the person who installed the chimney liner, I sent the video to him. I wanted him to see it and just say, is this normal to see this much creosote that was falling down from the chimney? You know, if you saw that video, I scooped out, you know, a good couple gallons. I don't know how you measure it, but you know, like a gallon or so container of creosote. But it's like, I described it to the chimney guy as like crushed pepper, like black pepper, and he said that's exactly what you want. He said if you're getting like a pile of coarse, it's like coarse sand, black sand, or like I said, like black pepper, he said that means your stove is burning hot. If you got like goopy creosote, then you're not burning hot enough. So he said, I'm doing everything right, burning the stove, and there was no way for us to put a clean out below that elbow coming out of the stove, because the way our old chimney is designed, it's filled with mortar and whatnot. So there was no way to put a clean out lower. Plus, he was also explaining that they don't put clean outs, at least he doesn't. I don't know if this is code or not. Maybe it is, but they don't put clean outs in the house. I think they used to do that years ago, to have a little clean out door where the ash would fall down and you could scoop it out, which in theory, I love that thought. You know, let it fall down past the elbow pipe, and then I can scoop it out and keep it clean. I love that idea. Now, of course, if the chimney was on the exterior wall, I suppose we could do that and have a clean out on the outside, but they don't put them on the inside. And here's the reason why. Imagine if you did have goopy creosote, which is like an oil that comes from the burning wood, and it is black, it's sticky, and it's basically it's almost like petroleum. So imagine this creosote, if it's not burning hot enough and you get this running creosote coming down the walls of your chimney, it could leak out of that clean out. Not only that, if you have a chimney fire, here's the thing. If you have a chimney fire, if that creosote is sticky and kind of still wet, you could get a chimney fire. It's like having oil inside your chimney, and that creosote would catch on fire, and then as it gets hot, it would run down the inside of the chimney liner and out that clean out door, and you've got basically like molten lava coming out of your clean out door, causing your house to burn down. So that's why they don't put a clean out inside the house. It's because you could have a chimney fire and molten creosote dripping out of that clean out door and cause a fire. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So, and again, maybe that elbow could be deeper, but they couldn't do that. So he basically said that everything looks really good, and that at best or at worst, I need to take that stovepipe off mid-season, which is what I did last year too, mid-season, and just shovel out whatever's there. He said I can also reach up, with a glove or something on my hand and sort of rattle the chimney liner a little bit, and it'll knock down some of that creosote that's up there, and that'll be fine too. So mid-season, just clean that out and keep an eye on it. So, but basically, we burn that stove. It's not, a lot of people have a wood stove for ambiance, and they like to just keep their house, they like to light a fire once in a while, but we're using it for primary heat. That's our primary heat source in this house. And so we burn that stove 24/7 from the first chill until the first warm day. So that stove runs. We'll probably start burning it in November if we get some chilly nights. We'll light it up. And then once we get into December and the days are also, below 50 degrees, that stove will run around the clock. We get up in the middle of the night and feed it if we have to. We try and pack it right before bed, and we go to bed later, so like 11 o'clock, maybe midnight. Try to pack that stove. It's not a real big stove. I wouldn't mind a bigger stove, but it's great. So we pack it and try to get a full night out of it. If we don't get up in the middle of the night, in the morning, you've still got hot coals there, and it's cooler in the house than it was when you went to bed, but still got hot coals. All we have to do is stir them up, throw a log on, they reignite, and it's a good system. I didn't know, since I had never had a wood stove before, I had thought in my ignorance that I would load this stove up when it holds about 4 pieces of 16-inch split wood, depending on the size you split it, obviously. In my mind, I thought I was going to get like 8 hours out of a burn. I thought this would be easy. Load the stove in the morning, fill it up in the afternoon. Not the case. Each one of these split rounds, if I, we do, you can't tell on the screen, but I try and split them relatively small like that, and maybe we get 6 of them in there. But basically, for each piece of wood we put in, we get like an hour of burn time. So if I can cram 4 big pieces in there, I'm going to get 4 hours out of it, which that's a lot of feeding the stove. If you're not, it wouldn't work for somebody has a standard job where you go out, leave the house at 7 in the morning, not get home until 4 or 5 at night. It just wouldn't work. But because we're here and Anne's here, she's retired, but she's working on the farm all the time, pioneer woman, and I'm self-employed doing this. We're around a lot, which is really nice. So it works for us, but it wouldn't work for maybe the average bear. So Randy is using your wood heat right now. Where are you, Randy, where you need to be burning wood already? I thought about it the other night. It was chilly, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I should light a little fire just to take the chill off. But we haven't lit the first fire yet. Bob, good point there. Bob says before we had brushes, we used to put a chain down the chimney and rattle it around to loosen things up and then clean it out. It makes a lot of sense. You know, you just would drop something down there and kind of hit the sides a little bit. I think I have a theory with our chimney liner. If you saw it on the video, it almost looks like one of those flexible dryer vents, you know, but it's not. You know, obviously it's 6 inches. It's pretty good heavy gauge stainless steel. It is flexible, so it's kind of corrugated. It looks like a slinky, and that drops down the chimney. What my theory is that as that slinky type liner heats up and cools down little bits here and there, it expands and contracts, I would think. So I think that this creosote that might even build up a little bit on it, I think the expansion and the contraction would cause that creosote to fall down, which is why I had that significant pile of creosote when I took the stovepipe off. That's just my theory, that I think it's almost a self-cleaning liner. You can tell me what you think of that. Randy's in North Carolina. It's cold enough to be burning a stove there, huh? You must be like in maybe the mountains of North Carolina. All right. Yeah, today's thumbnail, by the way, was another AI-generated thumbnail. I'm just playing with that. I was in Photoshop, and you can ask it to generate an image. So I said, generate a cartoon-looking farm scene with an orange tractor. That's what it gave me. So I thought, that's good. We'll put that out there. All right, let me look back a bit here. All right, I'm seeing responses. Oh, Chris is saying, did anyone notice the names on the live chat have changed format? That now has the @ with the full. Yeah, how about that? You're right, Chris. I think it used to be nicknames, as we see here, @ Watershed Overlook. I think it used to have a nickname. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a thing with StreamYard or what's going on. That's and apparently that's YouTube only. See, here's Richard from watching from Facebook. You see the little Facebook icon there. So Richard's name comes up there. But then, you know, other ones that are not, like Hunter here, has the @ symbol. Look at that. Hunter's asking, Ann, are you okay with the Baumolite? Would you believe that Ann's been out for the last 2 days on the Baumolite, going at it, her favorite tool to use. Hello, Jennifer. Good to see you. Miss Jennifer, I guess, if we want to be proper. And William. No worries, William. We don't keep track of time here. Well, we do. We do keep track of time because we'll be done at 8 o'clock, but no such thing as being late. Which, by the way, if I haven't said it, and I haven't said it this week, I want to welcome you if you're new to the channel. I kind of glossed over that, but again, we're getting 500-600 new subscribers a month on the YouTube channel, and with that, we may have 1 or 2 viewers here tonight who have never been on a live stream before. So I want to welcome you if it's your first live stream. If it is, please say hi in the live chat, because this is a highly interactive live stream. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, you can leave live chat comments on YouTube or Facebook. But anyway, let me know how you found the channel, and I want to welcome you, and all the fine people here will welcome you too when you say hi. It's my first time on a live stream. And everybody will say, hey, welcome, because we're just that fun. We do this every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, just for an hour, and then we wrap things up. We will do a little bit later, before we wrap up, we will do a sticker giveaway like this. So one lucky winner every week gets to win the sticker giveaway. If you do have a question for me tonight, remember to post it this way in the live chat with the word question followed by the question, and that helps it stand out. And of course, hit that thumbs up if you don't mind, because it makes me happy. Makes me feel loved. What can I say? Otherwise, we're free rolling here, just talking about some different things. I did want to mention to you, and I mentioned it at the end of last week's live stream, that you've got to check out Jake's website from ITC Quick Attach. You may have started seeing some promotions on Facebook. I don't know about YouTube, but definitely on Facebook. ITC Quick Attach, and Jake, the owner there, has been putting out some promotions. They are doing a massive giveaway, and I don't have it right in front of me, but you can look it up. Chris, maybe you can share it on the live chat, the link to the website for this giveaway. Massive giveaway, partnering with different other U.S.-made companies like I think Logox, and I don't want to name anything out of turn because I don't want to name somebody that's not participating, but they're doing a really big giveaway, including, I believe, 3 chainsaws, steel chainsaws. It's a big one. It's a big one. And we're going to have Jake here on the live stream, probably in the next couple of Mondays, to talk about this. And I want Jake to explain to you why they're doing this, how to participate. And he's going to be here possibly, we're looking at Monday from next, October 20th. But here's the thing. On November 10th, mark your calendars for this, because on November 10th, to kind of finalize this big giveaway that they're doing, Jake and ITC Quick Attach are going to do a giveaway specific to this live stream. So for all of you who watch weekly, you'll be able to participate in that. We'll probably get some new viewers from this giveaway who might join us that night too. So we might have a full house on November 10th, but please be here because you'll have a chance to win a special giveaway from ITC Quick Attach, and we're going to do it just like we do the sticker giveaway here. So it's going to be a matter of entering in the live chat. So it'll be YouTube and Facebook, and we will randomly, through the computer machine, the way we do it, just like we do it here, it will pick a random winner. So somebody is going to win better than a sticker that night. I can tell you that. It's better than a sticker. But the other giveaway that they're doing is something you have to go onto the website and you have to register for it. It doesn't cost anything. I'll explain this to you, and when we have Jake on here, he'll explain it to you much better. But what they're doing is they have like a Google form for you to fill out, and they're not like mining your information. They're not selling your information. They are truly looking for input from the tractor, compact tractor, subcompact tractor community. They're looking for input from us for things that we feel are important for tractor owners. So it will help them in developing products. It will help them understand the products that they're offering, how they're being received. I guess their sales kind of explain that. But they really want to hear from us to hear what we want, and that will help them, and then they can create possibly products that fit our needs. So it's really a matter of communication, a matter of developing relationships with the companies and with us who are in the compact tractor market. So it's all good, and it's all very sincere. So and I think it's not even a requirement to fill out that form to enter. But I will ask you, if you go to their website and you enter, I would ask you to fill out that form. And when you do, tell them that Ed suggested that you fill out the form. knowing that it's important to them and knowing that it's safe and secure and you're not going to get bombarded and they're not going to sell your information. So do what you can. I haven't actually looked at the form myself, so do what you can to fill the form out. I know they would much appreciate it. So, all right, 45 in the hills of North Carolina. That is pretty. I think I'd be burning the stove too. I think I would. All right, let me scroll down a little bit. So Chris is saying that thinking the residue in the chimney is more ash than creosote. I thought so, but the chimney guy said that's creosote. I mean, ash shouldn't really get up in there and do that. In fact, I've got the catalysts in this stove. It's a energy efficient stove or environmentally friendly stove. So it has these ceramic catalysts, which are like a catalytic converter in your car. So you get the stove heated. It's got to get heated up way hot first, and then once those catalysts are up to temperature, you divert the stove exhaust through those catalysts, and those things are basically burning off excess smoke and fuel that hasn't burned on the fire. So nothing's really getting out of the stove and up into that chimney other than smoke. Now, I will say that I had one problem with some firewood that I bought last year that was not seasoned, and I complained, not like a complaint, but I reached out and I said, hey, this is not as dry as it needs to be. And the guy who bought the firewood was very kind. He brought me another load of seasoned firewood, and he didn't give it to me, but I kept the stuff that I bought that I'll burn this year, and then he gave me this other load at a greatly reduced price, and it was seasoned much better. Some of our wood here on the farm is probably not as seasoned as it should be because you need to have a couple years with this oak, from what I'm hearing, and I'm just not ahead of myself the way I should be because in the dead of winter it's cold and nobody feels like going out and cutting firewood, and in the heat of summer it's so hot nobody feels like cutting firewood. It's just a lot. So I'm hoping I've got a tree down that I cut up a couple months ago. I want to get back there and split that up. It's already dead, so maybe it's slightly seasoned, but wood doesn't really season too well until you split it. So that I just want to stay ahead of this so that next year maybe I have an excess of wood and get there going as well. But I do think if I burned really well seasoned wood, I might get less residue. Hunter says, Miss Jennifer is going to win the sticker. All right. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Joseph received the stickers. Awesome. Good to hear. Bob says, yes, you have seen the ITC Quick Attach promotions on Facebook. Yeah, he's getting it out there, and that's good to see. All right. Oh, thank you, Bob. $4,500 worth of prizes. See, I told you it's a significant giveaway. It's multiple giveaways. It's not that one person's going to win $4,500 worth. They're doing multiple giveaways, and he's doing all that on the back end. Like I said, we're going to do a giveaway on November 10th, specific to this channel, and partnering with them in that way. Like we're using this live stream as the conduit for that giveaway. But the other giveaway, Jake's handling that on his own. He's got a system set up for that. Chris says the promotion shows up in a pop-up window on the homepage. So if you go to itcquickattach.com, you'll see it there. Randy, question, how many hours have you put on the Bombelite? I was looking at this yesterday, and I believe I saw about 70 hours, which is a good amount because when we got it here, it had 0 hours on it. I think Ann put 4 hours on it yesterday, and who knows, maybe another 4 hours today. But yeah, that's a good amount of hours. We have used it a lot. Yeah, see, Ann says she put about 30 hours on it this summer. It takes a lot to add. It might not sound like a lot, but it takes a lot to add up several hours. You know, people have tractors with like 10 hours on them, so it it's more than you think. I see a first comer. Well, welcome to you. I don't see the comment, but I see that Chris said welcome first comer. John, Backyard Maine. It has been a while. I hope you're doing well. John had a John from Backyard Maine. His channel kind of pivoted, and John, you probably don't mind me talking about this. He started out, I think, more in line with what we're doing here on the channel, some homesteading stuff, some outdoor content. But John's a seasoned electrician, electrical engineer. I don't know what he's a really smart guy. So John started putting out this content about electric work, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. All the shorts that you've put out, John, and then the how-to videos. I'm kind of a wannabe electrician at heart. I really am. I think it's a field I would have really enjoyed had I thought about it or had some direction when I was younger. But I really like residential electric. I don't know anything about commercial electric, but I just like it. I love doing electrical work, and it's a pain in the neck sometimes running wires, but anyway, I just enjoy it. So check out Backyard Maine and follow John and see some of his great projects. Yes, winter is a good time to cut and split. Frozen wood splits easier than warm. That's true, but it's got to be not too cold, you know. But you know, once you're out there and you're bundled up and you're working, you're not going to be too cold. So Bob says he cuts all his wood and splits it from now until Christmas. Don't mind the cold, hate the heat. Keep at least a year ahead. That's right. You want to keep at least a year's worth ahead, and I am not there. But we're better off this year than we were last year. I've got some totes of firewood that I did cut last year, knowing I'd be doing it for this year, and it wasn't green wood, which is the other thing. I tend to cut down trees that have fallen, so they're already starting to dry out. There are trees that were maybe standing dead, so I don't think that they need as much time to season as if you were to cut a green tree down. You're going to need that couple of years to really season. But I think when it's already dead, it's got a head start. Again, what do I know? That's my theory, but I think it's true. I think it is. All right. So silence. Hunter's going to cut wood in November. That's a good time. So, yeah, I think it's just, I think cutting firewood is one of those things where you just have to get, like, you have to commit. It's hard to go out and say, you know, I'll cut firewood for an hour today. To me, it's more like you have to get in that mindset. You have to gear up, you know, for safety. You have to have all your equipment ready to go. Your chains should be sharp. Have your fuel, your bar oil. Just think about all the things. And it's a lot to put together because you want to have a saw. I like to have a second saw with me if I go out in the woods, because if I get the one saw stuck, I can use the other saw to cut free the one. I use my limbing saw, my little favorite Echo 12-inch chainsaw, and limb the tree ahead of time and get it all nice and clear, and then cut it up. I also like to bring, because our trees are, that's dumb to say, our trees are all in the woods. Imagine that. Our trees are all in the woods, and I like to bring the tractor out there. I've got a system now with the big tool rack on the back, and behind the big tool rack, since it has a receiver, I can tow the log splitter behind the big tool rack. On the front, I've got I put the pallet forks on the front. I like to bring a firewood tote, IBC tote, out with me and position myself with the big tool rack with all my tools on it, all my saws, everything I need on the big tool rack. Position it with that and the splitter, and then park the IBC tote in an area where I can split the firewood and toss it in the tote and just kind of have a almost like an assembly line going there. And that way you're not doing double work, you're not bending over 2 and 3 times. I've got my log ox for picking the wood up. That saves my back quite a bit. So it's a process, and you just have to gear up and say, that's my commitment today. That's what I'm going to do. Kevin says, I cut all mine with a couple battery saws. I prefer to go no gas, I guess. Yep. I don't know about these battery saws. I know that they're getting more and more popular, or they're coming out more and more. Yeah, I think they're getting good. Like anything, they're getting good. Battery-powered drills were garbage 20, 30 years ago, and now they're amazing. I don't even want to buy a power tool anymore if it's not battery operated. I don't want to have to plug anything in. And I actually bought a battery powered finish nailer so I could put some trim up, because I didn't want to drag the air compressor and the hoses. I have finish nailers, but they're air powered, and it's a pain in the neck to bring the compressor and the hose. You've got a hose, you've got a extension cord to plug the compressor in. When you're trying to put the trim up, you're dragging the hose. So I bought a 15 gauge DeWalt finish nailer that works with my 20-volt batteries, and it's awesome. And I'd also like to get a 20-volt framing nailer. I've been looking at those on Marketplace. I'm not going to buy a new one because they're like $400, but on Marketplace I've seen some for $200. I think I'd like to try a battery-operated framing nailer, because I use my framing nailer when I use it a lot. When I'm building a wall or something like that, framing, it's great. I love it, but I would like it if it didn't have a battery. I see, Kevin. You have a defibrillator, and gas saws are a no-go. Thank you. I misunderstood that, I think. So no-go for a gas saw. Everything I see, you look at battery-powered equipment, and generally, other than runtime, that's the challenge, but performance-wise, electric, I think, is always better. It always outperforms gas. Vehicles have, the torque from start to finish, where gas engines have a certain RPM where you get the best torque, the best horsepower. Electric, it's like start to finish. It's right there for you. So, when you drive an electric vehicle, it's like a rocket. Electric golf carts. I remember years ago, like before there were like electric cars and things like that. But I remember talking to people about gas golf carts and electric golf carts, and even 30 plus years ago, people were saying the electric ones are way better because they're much more powerful. So it's there. It's just a matter of longevity, as far as how long the battery lasts. That's what I'm talking about. Because you can't beat just dumping some petroleum into a gas tank and going all day long with it. Hard to beat that. Oh, look at that. Chris just bought a new Milwaukee. Chris is in the he's on team red for power tools. I'm on team yellow, not because I feel like DeWalt's better than Milwaukee. It's just because 12 years ago or more, I bought a 20-volt DeWalt set of drill and a drill driver. That was the start of it. Once I had that and liked it, I would buy other tools. And of course, you buy the one that fits your battery. Before you know it, you've got a library full of equipment. I've got the drill, the driver, the reciprocating saw, the oscillating saw. Now I have a circular saw, the angle grinder, tire inflator, and I just bought a string trimmer, DeWalt string trimmer, that takes the same 20-volt battery. So I'm I'm sucked into their system. So anyway, Chris bought a framing nailer for an upcoming project. Yeah, the price is painful, right? But how nice not to have to run an extension cord and a battery or a hose. That's the word. That's it. So, hello, Kent from Hope Construction. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back here. Right. Yeah, the whole battery thing. And I'm going to the Equip Expo in a couple of weeks, and the biggest thing I saw last year was a ton of battery-powered equipment. On top of that, you're starting to see more and more robotic equipment like mowers and things like that. But battery-powered, I mean, man, it was like off the charts. That's where things are going. You can agree with it or disagree with it, but that's where things are going. I couldn't believe I saw this like 72-inch zero-turn mower. That's big. And it was battery powered. Like, it was ginormous. And I was just surprised by that. I mean, it shouldn't be because you have full-size F-150s now that are battery powered. But point is, it's going there. It's going there, and whether it's going to stick or whether it's going to not stick, I don't know, but it's going there. And you heard me talk about the little Slate pickup truck that I love the idea of that. It's a basic truck that's fully electric, manual windows, like it's a base truck, like our Ranger, and I'd like one of those. But everything's getting better. It's all getting better. Look at our phones. I mean, my first iPhone didn't even have a camera on it. Now I have 3 cameras. I guess 4 if you count the front. I also do like technology. Mark just bought a 60-inch brush hog today. Congratulations, Mark. The Bush Hog is the name brand. I have a 48-inch Bush Hog squealer. That's on the back of the tractor right now. I'm going to be taking it off shortly. I was supposed to do a follow-up tilling job on Sunday, but we rescheduled. I was probably going to make a video on that if the customer allowed me to, but I'll tell you here what I was thinking was it's kind of neat. I did these tilling jobs in the summertime, springtime and summertime, and this particular person kept my phone number. He called me up last week and he said, "Hey, the garden's done. I want to spread some compost in the garden. I want to till it in to get it ready for next year." So he wants to have me back and have me do like a winter prep of his garden. So I thought that was pretty neat to have my first repeat customer, I guess you'd say. Hunter, you have a 15-foot bush hog? Then you must have like a really big tractor. I know they have those big batwing bush hogs that have like the middle section and then 2 wings, and they fold up so you can get them through a gate, and then you get through the gate and you fold the wings down, and you've got this big, like Hunter said, 15-foot mower. So they're neat, but you need a heck of a tractor. John picked up some pallet forks. Yeah, John, these things, picked up some pallet forks. Don't know how I would live without them. It changes it's almost like getting a whole nother piece of equipment. That's the beauty of these tractors, is that you change out, if you have a quick attach front end loader bucket, you change it out, you've got the bucket, and then you put pallet forks on, and they can do things that you couldn't do with the bucket. And it's like a whole different machine. You get the grapple. I don't know if you have one of those, John. If you get a grapple, you're going to be out of your mind happy. The grapple does things that you can't do with the bucket. You can kind of do with pallet forks. Pallet forks can get under things. Like if you had brush or whatever, you could get under them with the pallet forks. But then the grapple is a whole nother level. And then companies like Artillion, who have the modular attachments. The cool thing about Artilian is they have a pallet fork frame that you buy for the front of your tractor. On that pallet fork frame, you can put, of course, pallet forks, but you can also take those off and you can put a grapple on that pallet fork frame. You can even, I don't have this, with your pallet forks on that Artilian pallet fork frame, you can have pallet forks with like a grapple claw. So you could use it as regular pallet forks, but then let's say you were to slide under some brush, you could take this grapple and clamp it down. So it's pretty neat. And then they have these, you can get double ones. You can, well, I said it's modular. You can make it however you want. But that's a very neat thing. And yeah, pallet forks are super handy. Kevin bought a 5-foot bad boy rotary cutter. That's very good. I think my tractor could handle a 5-foot. I've got the 48, but I think it could handle a 5-foot just fine. Yeah, Bob, pallet fork and grapple are a must. For sure. What? Dale got a free Bush Hog brand the other day. The person got rid of their tractor and they didn't want the rotary mower anymore. Wow, congratulations to you. Because what did I pay for my 48-inch at the auction a couple years ago? I made a video about it. I think it was like $475. Was it more than that now that I think back? I don't think so. But I don't know. Go back and rewatch that video of me at the auction. I think it was my first auction video that I made. But free is way good, especially if it's Bush Hog brand. Yep, Jerry, very impressed with the grapple. I haven't had my grapple on for a little while. I need to, though. And that's all part of, like, when I say you have to get in the mode of doing firewood, it's the same thing with clearing up. We've got down trees in the woods that aren't really good for burning, but they need to be cleaned up. And the grapple, you can just go in there and pick up the down tree. I'm talking trees that are like maybe 8 inches in diameter. You pick it up, you can lift it up, get it up off the ground, cut it into manageable pieces so you can get it out of there, and then move it to a pile. And it's just, yeah, the grapple just, I think Artilian calls one of their grapples an iron fist, and that's true. It puts like a hand on your tractor, and you can just go around and pick things up and put things down. What's that from? Anyway, I love the grapple. I love me some grapple. It's one of my favorite attachments. I'm often asked, what's your favorite attachment? It's hard to pick a favorite. It's like children, but the grapple is, I mean, it's whatever attachment you need at the moment, but the grapple is one of my top favorites. And then, of course, my wood chipper is one of my other favorites. But I also love my rototiller. And again, these are all things that have a specific purpose. So you can't say, I like the rototiller more than the grapple, because you can't pick things up with a rototiller and you can't till the ground with a grapple. Question, BT, anyone have or use the jumper cable adapters for the DeWalt 20-volt battery? I don't know if I've seen that or not. I have the Gulu jump pack, and I guess it makes sense. Why wouldn't you make a jump pack out of these DeWalt batteries? The Gulu jump pack is 4,000 milliamp, or no, 4,000 amps. I don't know. But if you take a DeWalt battery, like a 4 amp hour battery, an 8 amp hour battery, I don't know what that converts it to as far as the power to jump something, but I think it would be good. Is it a DeWalt brand? Because there's a lot of things out there that are made to fit the DeWalt batteries, but they're not a DeWalt product. And I'm a little sketchy on that. I mean, I've seen some work lights that take the DeWalt battery. That's probably fine, but I tend to think that the name brand companies know best how to design and use things. I don't even want to use the off-brand batteries. I've only bought DeWalt batteries. I've never fallen to the temptation of buying a low-priced knockoff battery for my DeWalts. I just haven't done it. All right. Well, I'm going to scroll through a little bit more. Oh, thank you. Chris, you're amazing. You looked up my video. I paid $775 for that bush hog. That was like post-COVID or something. That's a lot of money. But I think they were going for that much. Is it worth that much today? I don't know. But thanks for checking on that. Yeah, that seems like a lot. Maybe it's not. Anytime I say something sounds like a lot of money, Ann says, like, you're so old. Like, when's the last time, complaining like, milk for $5? I thought milk was 99 cents a gallon. What? Anyway, you know what's coming up now, right? That means it's time for the sticker giveaway. For our new members, here's the way this works. I'm going to share a word or phrase on the screen for live chat viewers only on Facebook and YouTube. You're going to type, if you want to win these anywhere in the world, you're going to type the word or phrase in the live chat exactly the way I show it to you. And then when this music stops, I will randomly choose a winner. I won't randomly choose. The computer will. Technology will. Well, let's get this up here so you have time to enter it. Simple one tonight. Hashtag MCGTV. So enter that, and then we'll do the random sticker drawing here shortly. Meanwhile, I'll sip on my cold, hot tea. And we'll just let the music play. I don't like cold hot tea. Look at all these comments. Nicely done, Tony. Hashtag MCGTV. See how Greg did it? By the way, you could do all uppercase, you can do all lowercase, you can do a combination of uppercase and lowercase, but make sure you use the hashtag and that there are no spaces. Also, if you enter more than once, the system's going to kick your second entry out. It's not going to count. It's only going to count one of them, so no need to enter more than once. All right, we're getting close here. But I want to give everybody a chance who wants to enter. Whoa, Bailey Bro, $23.94. Now that we're using these code names instead of the other names. Anyway, congratulations, Bailey Albro. Well, how about the way I landed the music just right this time too? I've been trying that for years and years and years. Well, listen, to the winner tonight, I need you to send me an email. I need your name and your mailing address so that I can send you these stickers. Let me share that with you right now. Contact mcgtv@gmail.com. Send me your name and your mailing address, Bailey Albro, and I will send these 2 stickers to you, or 2 that are identical to these 2 stickers. That's the way it works. That's how it works. Contact mcgtv@gmail.com. If you have any other questions, anybody, you can email me, and I will see that as I can. Sometimes it's tough to respond to emails, but I'll do my best. Congratulations. How about that? So here's where we are. Today is October 6th. Let me tell you what's going on here. Next week is October 13th. Now, I fully expect to see you next week. October 20th is when we're looking to have Jake from ITC Quick Attach come on, and he'll tell you more about this giveaway. If you have questions, it'll be a great time to reach out and ask questions, and Jake can answer you directly. So that'll be on October 20th. October 27th, I may not have a live stream. So I'm just kind of breaking you in now so you're not sad. If I can do it, I'll do it. But I'm thinking that we're going to have to take a couple weeks off because this is my work shirt. I was at work today. I'm working a seasonal job, and I'm actually working with the local, election board, and it's going to get real busy real soon until after November 4th, which is just a couple weeks. So the 27th could be busy. November 3rd, no, there won't be a live stream on November 3rd. I can tell you that right now because we'll be busy. I'm doing some helping set up and things like that. So that's what I'm doing, and that's going to be taking me away quite a bit. It's going to get quite busy. So that's the plan there. I hope you mark those dates down. If you didn't, we'll talk about it again next week. And, hopefully I'll see you then. So thanks for being here tonight. I do appreciate it always. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for supporting the channel. It means the world to me. Also, remember that the week of, now Jake's going to come here on the 20th probably. 20th. The 21st, that's the Equip Expo. So I'll be heading south that week. So maybe I'll see you at the Equip Expo. I hope that is the case. But anyway, that's what's happening the week of the 20th. So that'll be fun. I know I'm going to see a couple people here tonight, like John and maybe a few others. Anyway, thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Have a great week. Enjoy everything, and I look forward to seeing you next time.